name is Annalisa. Thank you so much for coming tonight, and I am from Olympia, Washington. Growing up in Olympia, Washington, I have had the opportunity to become a really tight-knit part of this community. But I have also gotten the opportunity to leave this community on a regular basis. As a child and now into a young adult, I have had the opportunity to travel all around the world with my parents, community members, friends, and also on my own. If you ask anybody who even slightly knows me, they will typically tell you that Lisa travels a lot, and that's what she does. And they're not wrong, I do like to travel a lot. Traveling is something that has, on a regular basis, taught me many life lessons that have helped build my character and made me the person that I am today. One of the most memorable traveling experiences that I ever had actually happened in the summer of 2017. This was a time where I decided to take a month-long trip. I decided to travel with a group for a period of time, and then I went off on my own to then go meet up with some friends and do some traveling on my own. During this time, I was in Romania, Germany, and Turkey. After my week-long stint in Romania with a group of friends, I left and I had a couple of days on my own. During this time, I was really excited to experience the city, do whatever I wanted to do, and just have some fun. It wasn't until I decided to go get lunch that I realized that there are also some negative parts of traveling alone. I went to Museum Island in Germany, and in Berlin, and I stopped at the Natural History Museum there. They have a nice little cafe there, and I decided to eat some lunch. I sat down, I grabbed a menu, and I ordered a glass of wine. It wasn't about 3 or 4 minutes into eating lunch that I realized that this was really awkward. I had nobody to talk to, I was all alone, and I had nothing to preoccupy my time while waiting for my food. Eating alone is something that I never considered to be a weird experience, especially in a public situation. I do things on my own on a regular basis, but it wasn't until I was sitting there at that cafe looking around at all of the other groups of people that were conversing with each other and enjoying everyone's time that I realized how important it is to me to spend time with people that I care about. After that lunch that I very quickly ate and got out of there as fast as possible, I realized that, and I also recognized the fact that I was going to have to eat a lot more meals on my own while traveling by myself. I had another 2 weeks by myself, and I had to eat during those 2 weeks. Simple facts. Throughout the next week while in Germany, my eating habits were about the same. I would go sit down, pull out my phone, refresh every app that I had, trying to find something to distract me while I waited for my food, and then eat my food really quickly and proceed on with my day. It wasn't until I was in Turkey towards the end of my traveling that I really started to get used to the fact of eating alone. I learned to sit back, relax, pay attention to things that were around me, and just observe. The very last meal that I had in Turkey, it was a dinner. I had stumbled across this small little restaurant that had a really nice seating area outside. I sat down, and this was the first time where I very confidently came in, sat down, and didn't even think twice about, okay, here we go again, me eating by myself. The waiter came up, we talked, I shared a little bit about how I was traveling alone, because you notice I was by myself, per usual, and I got to just sit there and enjoy a beautiful sunset. I got to learn all about Transformers from the Canadian family sitting across the table from me, and I got to enjoy one of the most wonderful Turkish meals I've ever had. Walking home from that dinner, I got to reflect on my entire travels. It was time for me to head home, and I was really reminiscing of my 4 weeks being abroad. And the biggest thing that I kept coming back to was I learned to eat alone. I never imagined that eating alone would be something that bothered me. It wouldn't be something that I'd be self-conscious about, and something that I would ever consider being an issue. It wasn't until this trip that it came to mind. But it's something that I'm very thankful for, that I realized. It now makes me very thankful for the moments that I do get to eat with my friends and family, but at the same time, I am also more confident in the fact that I can do something else on my own and not be bothered by it. This is why I always recommend for people to travel, whether it's on your own with somebody that you love or a friend of yours or a community group, whatever it is. Traveling consistently gives you wonderful life experiences, and oftentimes there are things that you never would have imagined you needed to experience. This is why I tell everybody to travel and why I recommend that you guys also travel. Do you guys have any questions?
No.